Hi everyone, this is Richard Sharma again, and just want to welcome you all back to our second video about spirituality, spiritualism. I have with me here Narendra Kumar. Thank you, Narendra, for being here. And today we have an interesting topic. If you guys watched the first video, we talked about the differences between spirituality and religion and what spirituality actually is. We briefly touched upon the word called masters or gurus. So today's topic is basically, why do you even need a master or a guru? So I guess we can start with that question. And so I guess my question to you is, and I'm sure many people watching this might have the same question, why do you even need a master guru in the first place?
It's a similar kind of understanding. Why do you need a doctor? Or why do you need a car mechanic?
Right.
Or why do we need professors in universities,
Right.
People have to understand the whole society relies on the facts. There are people, everybody is specializing in something. Some people like to dig trenches, some people write poetry, some people make songs and music. So there are expertise in every area.
Yes.
In the same way, if anybody really wants to bring out the richness in their life and want to live a whole life, then you have to meet somebody who has been able to do that and demonstrate that. A spiritual master is basically the one who has demonstrated again and again, without any shadow of doubt, that he or she has become very good in taking care of things of this world. I'm talking about your health, money, food, your life purpose, and problem solving, and relationships, which are very important to everybody. And also your connectivity with divine, and be able to get access to the supernatural, and be able to demonstrate that, hey, you can bring supernatural into a daily life to create a whole lot of things. We can transform ourselves much faster, because here I'm talking about spiritual horsepower.
I see. So it seems like maybe, for example, if I wanted to understand a new concept, I could read a book about it, maybe spend 10 days reading a book, or talk to the author and learn all of that material in one day. So it speeds up the process by having a master.
I mean, look at a simple thing, like you just bought a computer.
Yes.
Let's say you bought a Dell computer,
Okay.
and so far you always had like Hewlett Packard, and you have no idea. It's a little bit different. And it's one thing to say, well, they sent a manual with it, and you rake your brains through the manuals. And those of you who have tried to read the manuals of anything, a cell phone, a car, it's a difficult job, right?
Yes.
So what do? We go find out, hey, my cousin over there, he's got the similar cell phone or the computer. Why don't we say, hey, will you just show me? You think it's quicker?
Saves me a lot of time and stress.
Yeah, I'm
right?
talking exactly the same thing. So the same thing works. If you want to become a heart surgeon, you talk to somebody who has been a heart surgeon for many years.
What is it like? What's the journey like?
Right.
What should I look for?
So it's
I
the
see.
same thing with spiritual masters.
Okay, that makes sense. You don't want to make the same mistakes maybe that others have made. Learn from that and avoid those. That makes sense.
And all I'm saying is, but please, for heaven's sake, find a good quality person, a good quality master. Don't settle for substandard, fake ones, because there are a lot of fake ones. Substandard so-called masters, gas station gurus, dime a dozen
Right.
type of gurus
Yes.
who are self-appointed. They give themselves titles, all kinds of fancy titles, and they are not the right ones. You want to get, and I'll just use few examples. First class master said what? I'm talking Jesus Christ. I'm talking Yogananda. I'm talking about Saint Germain. I'm talking about Guru Nanak. I'm talking about Shirdi Sai Baba. You know? And Saint Augustine. Saint Francis of Assisi.
Many
You
great
know?
ones.
And if you go to Jewish faith, there are masters like Moses. Okay, Malachi, Job.
Wow.
So every faith has got a whole lot of wonderful masters. You have Buddha. You know,
That
these
makes
are
sense.
masters.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And you want to hook up with the high quality masters.
Okay, so that actually brings me to the next question I had on my
Yes.
list is, I don't know what better way to put it, but types of masters. So,
Yes.
so it seems like from what you're saying, there are different levels of mastery. So you would want to pick a master who's made the journey all the way
Yes.
to God,
Yes.
because only then he or she can take you there.
Exactly.
I see. Okay, so it's I guess maybe for the people watching, to me the way I see it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you have a teacher who only teaches up to 12th grade, well, you cannot talk to them about college level stuff. The same way, a master can only take you so far as where they've been to.
Exactly.
So if you have one who's made the whole journey, they can take you all the way home.
Like, for example, it is not right to call a yoga teacher a master.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're not talking about how much yoga he knows or she knows. We're talking about who has conquered the inner journey and inner confusion and inner struggles. They won the battle of inner struggles. And they resolved it. Because we have inner conflicts based in relationship to dealing with things of the world. Sometimes we have relationship issues, money issues,
Yes.
health issues, food issues.
Yes.
You know, we have to be, the master is one who has really understood that and really mastered, learned the skills and know-how,
To deal with the
come
world.
to a
yeah.
point that he is quick and sharp and very capable and skillful at catching problems early and solving them early without allowing the negativity or the problem of other people to throw him off balance or much less destroy the person from inside.
Wow.
And at the same time, he has understood the inner secret of connecting with divine.
Yes, at all times.
All
Never losing
times.
the connection.
Yeah, because this is a statistical truth.
Mhm.
Because what happens, our consciousness is constantly changing, goes through up and down. It's a life process because we're life beings. Sometimes we feel bad, sometimes we feel very happy. You pray and then you go for a retreat, you feel very relaxed. You know, you're sitting on the beach, you are very calm.
Mhm.
But let's say you have work pressures, or if you have an argument with your wife or husband, then you pull down. Or say your child is bothered, or if you are worried about your money issues, or you're afraid that you might get laid off from work,
Right.
it ought to bother you because you're a human being. That time your consciousness comes down because your mind is thinking, oh, I have a problem to solve.
But a master will not let it pull down.
Yeah,
To
he
the
will
point.
not. Now, this is not a master.
Right.
A master moves a little bit.
I see. I see.
And his or her consciousness stays above the seventh chakra, what they call 1,000-petal chakra. And I'm talking the scale of consciousness, which is a measurement that we can do on ourselves.
Yes. To have more data to understand where we really are.
Yes,
That
so
makes
that
sense.
a master is somebody who moves up and down and stays above 7 most of the time. If you have done it the last 6 months or a year, I think you qualify to be called a master.
Beautiful.
Not because you've read many books or because you can do yoga or you can just kind of
Talk about scriptures or anything of that
yeah,
sort.
that's not
just,
you might be a teacher, you might be a good coach, and that's okay.
but you're not a master.
But let's be clear what a master is.
That makes sense.
And also, other quality of a master is that he or she, soon as you cross, I say this to everybody, anybody who crosses that boundary, God gives him the gift of spiritual powers.
I see.
high quality vibrations that come from God through high masters. That person, that ability to transmit that grace. Grace is a real substance. It's not just an attitude that I like this guy or I don't like this.
Right.
I'm talking about Holy Spirit power that can flow through that person. Only that person is given
Yes.
that authority.
When you're a master.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Teachers don't have it. Guides don't have it. Writers don't have it. They're just talking.
You have to be up there.
Yes.
Makes sense. Cool. Well, I guess that brings me to my next question. I'm sure many of you might be thinking about this. I know I had this question a few years ago. How do you identify a master? And let's say when you've identified one, how do you know for sure that this is your master so that I can stop looking around?
Yeah, first of all, it's a good idea that if you're not sure, that keep your eyes and ears open, hang around with good quality friends, and it doesn't matter what faith you belong to. Or if you feel somebody spiritually advanced and is coming in your town, go listen to them. And go near them and see how you feel.
So watch for your feelings.
Yes,
Watch your feelings.
watch
Okay.
how you feel.
Okay.
You will find that typically when somebody is a master level, for no reason at all, as you go close to them, you will feel joyful, you will feel light. That's one telltale signs.
Okay.
And then of course there are people who can basically see the light around these people.
Yes.
And in today's world there are a lot of people who are gifted. And not only that, then you also want to see their track record. Are they just talking? Or are they also be able to demonstrate through their personal life? Because there are many of them talking something and doing something totally different. So if you really pay attention to their faces, their body language, you should be able to tell. If you're smart, I'm sure you can pick it up that something is not right.
So we need to basically watch for our feelings. How do we feel around a person?
Right.
If that person claims to be a master, do we feel good around this person? Does it feel uneasy? If it feels uneasy, just stay away.
And also you will find the other telltale signs that people, when they go there, if they touch them or they look at them, sometimes people get healed, sometimes they get transformed, or sometimes you will see people get like electrical shocks around these people, or sometimes people get blissed out, or sometimes they start crying. Those are some of the telltale signs that even though the other person has not said a word, just being close to them, you get those feelings.
Okay, so it's good to watch out for those.
Right.
Observe.
And of course, you don't want to lose your common sense.
Yes.
And always keep your checklist and verify it in the best way that satisfies you. I don't want that anybody should blindly follow anybody. You also should be given an opportunity to ask them questions, and they should satisfy you on your own terms.
That makes sense. So that is one part to identify a class master, and then to know that this person is your. And I'm going to use the word master and guru interchangeably because it means the same. To know that a certain individual is your guru. I guess one way to do that would be, like you mentioned, if they're able to answer your questions on your terms,
right,
to your satisfaction.
I mean, there's a misunderstanding. People say pick up anybody. It's not like that. It's like finding a spiritual master is just like finding somebody to date. I mean, when do you decide that you get married? You don't just get married to somebody you just met in the street, or you met somebody at the bar.
Right.
It's not that way. I mean, you have to know the person before you're going to make a deeper commitment. So you don't want to go there just because somebody's famous. What's the point? If you're speaking Chinese and he speaks French, then there's no connection. So it's not only you just picking out anybody who comes along your way. No, you hang on to your requirements, because all your requirements must be met
Yes.
before you accept somebody. Same way like dating. that person must speak your language. Then you must have your criteria fully met, and then you can say yes. And if any of the criteria is not met, you don't have to accept that person. You can listen to the person if he's got some nice things to say,
Sure.
and be grateful for that. But it's not necessary that anybody who comes on your way is somebody you're gonna date.
That makes sense.
It's very much like that.
Same with the masters.
Or just like forming a friendship.
Yes.
Not everybody who comes in on the street is a friend.
Yes.
A master is a serious business.
Yes. That makes complete sense. Now, talking about masters and gurus, you've mentioned like Jesus Christ is a great master, Saint Germain is a great master, Yoganandaji is a great master. And I'm sure we might have this, people could have this question, well, for lack of a better term, these masters have passed away. They're not in the body.
Right.
So, are we supposed to find a master or a guru who's actually in the body, or who's passed away, or it makes no difference whatsoever?
Actually, the requirement is very simple. If you are going to accept a master who's not in the physical body, then you better learn how to communicate with them in spirit. And it can be learned. Yogananda has written a book called How to Communicate with God. That gives the information enough for you to start learning how to communicate. There are many people, and in Christian faith, there are a lot of ministers who will come to you on TV and say, oh, last night God told me this and God told me that. And my point is, if they can learn it, so can you. Go after them and ask them, how did you learn? Will you show me? It can be learned. It's an art and science. So, if you do not have access to a master in the body, I repeat, you must learn how to communicate in spirit. And it's an art and science, pretty scientific process. But if you do not know how to communicate in spirit, then probably you need a physical master.
Who's still in the body.
But in either case, if you do not have a communication with them and they don't give you time or they don't ask questions, then they cannot be your master.
If they're not even available
I mean,
to you.
what if you to see them every time you can stand in line for 3 hours and only you get just few seconds with them? I mean, if you settle for that, I say you're not that good a student then. You're not ready. You should get as much time as you want. And you should have their cell phone, their fax number, their secretaries, email, everything. And you should be able to spend as much time. And they need to speak your language.
Yes.
And because ultimately, don't forget, you are the customer, master is the supplier. And if he's not supplying everything you need to move on. Thank him and move on. Till you find the good one.
That makes sense. Well, so I guess we've established why we need a master, the different levels of a master. How do you identify one, or if they need to be or not be in a body? There's this one question, this is like a list of questions I had. How far, or what exactly is a master's job to ensure that you build your connection with the divine? Is that the end of it, or I guess, or another way to ask this question would be, how far can a master take you?
Okay.
Yes.
Now, first of all, let me share with you that there's a difference between a teacher and a guide and a coach and a spiritual master.
Yes.
Spiritual master is one who's above the chakra number 7. 7, like this, with your spine you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Master is whose consciousness is above this level, wearing something like this. Somebody who's going like this is not a master.
He's not a master.
He's got poor quality.
Mhm.
One day he might be good, but other days he might be terrible. So also important is that I want you to clearly understand the concept of horsepower. I'm talking powerful tanks here. I'm not talking somebody's 20-year-old moped or a bicycle.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. When you are dealing with spiritual certified masters, you're talking about some serious horsepower. That can make a big difference. Now you can, if your car falls in the ditch, let me tell you, your brother-in-law's bicycle is not going to be able to pull you out. You know, sure, you need to learn how to drive so next time you don't fall in the ditch. But you need something more powerful than your car to pull you out of the ditch. And that's why it's important to be aware of the fact that spiritual masters have a lot of horsepower. Somebody like Jesus Christ is very powerful. Yogananda is very powerful. You know, like that there are many masters. And that is very important to understand.
Yes.
And that's going to make a big difference.
Wow.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it makes sense. Yes. I know we're running out of time, but I still had one last question because this always would meddle with my mind when I first started on the spiritual path. One thing is, how soon can an individual expect to see results after you've identified your master who's going to help transform you? How soon can we expect results? Are we talking years, months, days, maybe seconds? How could...
Well, let's say you identify a master,
Yes.
but you never talk to him.
Yes.
So what's the point? It's not going to work out. You have no communication. Or let's say if you only see him once a year, then it's a pretty shallow relation.
Yeah.
It's like your long lost cousin. You'll see him only at somebody's birthday
Right.
once
Okay.
a year.
I see your point. Yeah.
That's not a relationship. That's a casual acquaintance. There's no commitment. What about your mother or your father? You see them every other day and you talk to them and you yell and scream at them. Now we're talking relationship. What
Okay.
about your wife, your spouse? You know, you love each other, you express your love, but at the same time you're willing to go to battle if they do something wrong.
Yes.
That's a relationship. So
Uh,
my point is, you have identified, first step one, identify a good quality master. Because if you're gonna go with a gas station guru, a substandard, self-certifying so-called master, then you got a problem. He has no horsepower.
Yes.
And he's gonna mistreat you, he's gonna just suck up you for money or time or whatever, and your energy. And you're not going to go too far. It doesn't matter how deep you go with it.
Right.
So you got to keep your eyes and ears open and make sure you have a list of requirements. And if they're not met, don't go there.
Makes sense.
And if you see that person doing something shady, illegal, immoral, trying to use any kind of force or manipulations, something is wrong. That's not a first-class master. Will never do that. Right? So
Yes.
once you have a good quality master, then please form a deep relationship, because this is a relationship of love. You're supposed to be closer to him than your father and mother. But it's not going to happen in one day. How long you want to take?
So that's
Some
really on
people
us.
have trust issues. If you have trust issues, you'll never be able to form
Right.
a relationship with. Some people don't even have good relationship with the boyfriend or husband, or they don't even know what it means to have a good relationship. If you don't have those skills, you're going to take a very long time. Because first you have to overcome that. You have to learn to trust somebody. You have difficulty forming friendships. You have difficulty opening up. And I can speak for myself. Thanks to my mom and dad, that I had no problem forming a relationship. No problem saying to somebody that I love you.
Yes.
You know, because they set a good example for me.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, it's very important for each one of us to have at least one relationship where we can be our pure, innocent self.
Just be real about it.
Right.
That makes sense.
At least one. And we use those skills to form a relationship with the Master. And if you have a deeper, loving trust based on enough evidence that you can trust the person,
Yes.
only then. I'm not asking you to blindly open to anybody. It may take your time. But when that relationship is born, when the bond is made, then you will see things happening very fast. I have seen more things happen in 2 minutes than people are able to accomplish in 30 years of meditation.
Wow. Wow.
I
That's
am
saying
not
something.
kidding. I've seen power of Jesus Christ and Yogananda.
Yes.
I've seen power of Guru Nanak
Yes.
and Shirdi Sai Baba and all these great masters, Saint Germain and Moses. I've seen that power. They don't waste time. They're waiting. They're looking for an excuse to help you and me. The problem is people don't ask. People hold them at distance.
So even if they want to help us, we block them out
Right.
because we're putting
You
them so
have
far
to
away.
open your
I
heart to
see.
them and treat them like the most loving person you ever met, most wonderful father or mother you have.
And then things change.
That is the key word.
Wow.
Not just spiritual practices and I do this prayer and that prayer. Relationship takes you there. Because at some point you say, no, I can trust this person. If you can melt their heart, you can make them smile. If you can make them stay awake thinking about you all night, you got the
You've
master.
got the master.
Then time is not an issue. In
Wow.
spirituality, time and distance doesn't mean anything.
Wow. Wow.
You should expect miracles within minutes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Amazing.
I'm just telling you what happened to me.
Amazing. Amazing.
And
Thank
I've seen a lot of my spiritual family members, they have experienced what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you something that I read in a book. I'm talking about what I've seen, I've experienced. And let me tell you, I have seen more miracles than a person is legally allowed to.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Legally allowed to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm sure a lot of us would like to experience that as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Narendra. I know we're out of time,
Thank
but
you.
hopefully everyone who's watching this, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back with more videos, and if there are any topics that you guys would like us to talk about, please leave them in the comment section after this video is uploaded to YouTube. And if you did like this video and the previous videos and the other videos, please do subscribe to our channel. It's Spirituality 4 Results, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
4 is number 4.
The number 4.
Okay,
All
very
right.
good.
Thank you.